Guys, we're talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers, their offseason preview. This is a team that, look, they're ranked, right now technically in the lottery. They're the 14th team. They went 44 and 38. They had a net rating of plus 2.1, 20th offensive rating, and the fifth best defense in the league. And this is a team that going into next season, RJ Nembhard and Brandon Goodwin will have, player options. Then Dean Wade will also have a team option, and Collin Sexton will have a player option, with Ed Davis, Rajon Rondo, and Moses Brown being the free agents for this team. I expect them to bring back Moses Brown at the very least. Now, when we look at this team, it definitely is going to be interesting for them because they're going to have about $3.1 million in cap space before re-signing anyone. So there's not a lot of cap space. So when we look at this, what went wrong right here? And the injuries kept coming. They were able to survive Collin Sexton and Ricky Rubio getting hurt and missing, the season. But once Jarrett Allen got hurt, and it was just kind of too hard to overcome. Guys got banged up. They didn't have enough depth at that point. The defense slipped, and the offense wasn't good enough at that point either way to make up for the loss in defense. And the Caps would have been a playoff team prior to the play-in tournament, but with this new system, kind of backfiring on them, and they end up not having enough firepower to bring down the Brooklyn Nets or the Atlanta Hawks in their two playing games. Now, for the fifth straight year, the Cavaliers have had a lottery pick, but this one feels a lot different than the previous because it's been a good season. And the past 4 years, with Collin Sexton being drafted at 8, Darius Garland at 5th, Isaiah Curry at 5th, and Evan Mobley at 3rd, Kobe Altman has proved himself as someone with a great eye for talent, and he knows how to build through the draft. And this is the last year the Cavaliers will be in the lottery. So, look, the Cavaliers also own 39th pick, which they got when they moved Jordan Clarkson back in 2019. And they also, and Cleveland owns the second round 47th pick, which, or did own it, which now resides in Memphis. So what do they need to fix? It's the offense, especially for a better balance on the bench. They need to solve things like that. Bring back Collin Sexton. He's a really good offensive weapon, and he plays well next to Darius Garland, either as a starter or he's a great six man who could be the sixth man of the year next year. And that backcourt dynamic is huge. They had a great dynamic before Sexton got hurt. He'll be a restricted free agent, and he's coming off a knee injury, so he'll take lower dollars for a long-term deal, or he'll take a big deal to gamble on himself or bet on himself and take the one-year qualifier. They need to get a backup point guard with Ricky Rubio gone and Rajon Rondo becoming a free agent. They also need a wing shooter. This team was middle of the room shooting, and Okoro did take a, big jump three-point shooting. He was a 31.6% three-point shooter pre-All-Star. After the All-Star break, he was shooting 44%. So now what should they do? Look, I think Kevin Love should be moved, okay? And moving his contract, I could see a team like the Thunder or the Spurs taking on the Rockets. He's got a great skill set, three-point range, rebounding, passing, but his salary is way too much for what he does on the floor and can't play defense. Trade him to a team that can buy him out, but that $28 million will open up. Now, after 11 games, Collin Sexton's year ended, but he was averaging 24.3 points, 4.5, assists per game the year before, 2.5 rebounds and a steal per game on 37% from the three and 48% from the effective field goal. So at 24 years old, you can either bring him back or sign and trade him for a better player. But really, like I said in the past, they need another ball handler to help, Darius Garland. Because look, Darius Garland, they have Larry Market and Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. And Darius Garland's awesome. But he needs a secondary ball handler next to him. And I'm not saying going out there and signing a guy like Kemba Walker, but, adding another guy who can bring the ball up the court would be nice, okay? And there are going to be free agents out there, and I think that'll be, somebody they can look into, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below, okay? What do you guys think about the free agents in this upcoming year? So that's basically the video. Cleveland Cavaliers, little preview about what they need to do, I think it's definitely kind of interesting about what's going on. And if you look at it, Kyrie, would he come back? Maybe. Kyrie's definitely going to hit free agency. And there's Miles Bridges, Jalen Brunson. Those are all people who are going to be too expensive, I think, for them. But if you look at a guy like Lou Dort, I know the three-point shooting isn't there, but Malik Monk could help them. Okay, Tyus Jones could help them. And there's a bunch of options out there. A Dennis Schroeder, maybe. And a Gary Payton II also. I think there's a lot of options of Victor Oladipo. This team has a plethora of options to choose from. So I want to hear your thoughts down below, guys. That's basically the video here in the library. Hope you have a good one.